When you're sitting here, you realise how short 5 minutes is. So, and this is a very, very precious moment, a very important event. And so I'd like to concentrate on three things. Firstly, a bit about myself. I speak from the perspective of a medical person who worked for nearly 10 years on nutrition and development in Asia and Africa when younger, and I'm now an international bureaucrat focusing on trying to get some of the ideas that Per and Francesco have talked about actually put into practice in different settings. Secondly, a quick assessment on where I personally think we are, given the title, where are we headed and where do we want to be? We're in a world where hundreds of millions of people's functional capacity is impaired by poor nutrition, and it is not due to an absolute lack of food or any kind of inability to produce the food that is necessary for good function. And the fundamental problems relate to social policies and governance around food, and in some cases also the adoption of very bad policies. And we're not headed to a good place. We're in a situation where food systems are not working, where we've got nearly 1 billion hungry now, and as Per said, we have got to prepare for feeding 9 billion by 2050. We're in a situation where smallholder farmers have not got secure livelihoods, are at risk due to climate change, and where, at least in my estimation, we may well be entering into another serious period because of rising food prices and food price volatility. We've got a lot of action underway. A lot of it also is extremely promising. New governance for food security, engagement of many bodies like the African Union and the European Union in ways that they haven't been for some years to come. But to take the links between agriculture, nutrition and health to scale, we have to do a lot more. And so here are 5 lines of action that I think that were worth looking at as we seek to get to the kind of places that my colleagues have identified during the last few minutes. Firstly, and obviously, we have to make sense of the links between agriculture, food systems, diet, climate, environment, sustainability, and human well-being. And this requires utterly novel research, ways of thinking, ways of working. And then we have to incorporate that joined-up thinking and action within our work as bureaucrats, scientists, and decision-makers. That's up to us, and the people in this room can do that. Secondly, we need to be working with others to make sure that the right policies are devised and implemented, policies that properly link to outcomes. Many of those that are being implemented right now do not do that, so that's a task that, again, we can be involved in, though we ourselves are often not making those policy decisions. Thirdly, a whole range of stakeholders need to be engaged in this thinking. And that's beginning to happen, but to involve a range of actors in both thinking and acting means also working with the people who are affected by poor nutrition and getting them part of the process in terms of analysis and operations. And to do that, we need to foster different kinds of organizations in which we work, particularly movements that bring ranges of actors together on platforms that encourage common action and results. These are not big organizations, large projects, new structures, new architecture. They're much more like Facebook and other social networks, and they can operate, and we've seen them work in numerous situations. That's how the world changes. Fourthly, obviously, actions and results, and to be able to demonstrate results is key. And fifth, we have to be able to communicate where it is we're headed. In case I got my numbering wrong, I will repeat them again. Firstly, making sense of the links and incorporating those links into our work. Secondly, getting the right policies. Third, engaging stakeholders and getting them to work in transformative ways. Fourthly, focusing on action and measuring results. And fifth, communicating and telling the story. And I think I may have got the order wrong. Perhaps the first thing should be to engage the stakeholders and establish the social movements, because that may well be the most important task ahead of us now. Thank you.